You're sitting at the kitchen table at midnight, scrolling through mortgage calculators, and you can't shake this one thought. Am I about to make the smartest decision of my life, or am I walking straight into a trap that's gonna crush my family financially? Here's the thing nobody tells you until it's too late. Buying a home feels like winning. It's the American dream, right? Your kids get their own rooms. You paint the walls any color you want. Nobody can tell you to leave. There's this deep, almost primal feeling that says if you own the roof over your head, you're doing right by your family. You're giving them something solid.
Something de permanent.
And man, that feeling is powerful. But let's talk about what happens after you sign those papers. Here's what they don't show you in those happy home buying commercials. That mortgage payment, that's just the starting point. You've got property taxes that climb every single year whether you get a raise or not. You've got homeowners insurance. You've got maintenance that comes out of nowhere, like when your AC dies in July or your basement floods in March. And guess what? You can't call a landlord. It's all on you. Every single dollar. I'm talking about real money here. The kind that adds up so fast it'll make your head spin. And here's where families get into trouble. They buy because they think they're supposed to. Everyone around them is buying. Instagram is full of housewarming parties. Their parents keep asking when they're going to settle down. So they pull the trigger even when their savings account is basically empty after the down payment. Even when they're still drowning in student loans. Even when one spouse just changed jobs and hasn't proven their income yet. On paper, the bank says they can afford it. But paper doesn't care about what happens when your transmission goes out the same week your kid needs braces and the water heater starts leaking all over your garage. When you rent, you've got flexibility. Job offer in another state, you can take it. Need to downsize because money's tight? You can do that. Want to move closer to better schools? It's an option. But when you own, you're stuck. And I don't mean stuck in a good way. I mean financially handcuffed to a piece of property that might be worth less than you paid for it when you need to sell. Because here's what they don't tell you. The housing market doesn't care about your timeline. It doesn't care that you need to relocate for work or that you can't afford the payments anymore. If you have to sell in a down market, you could lose everything you put in and then some. That's not security. That's a gamble dressed up like stability. Hold up. I'm not saying buying is bad. I'm saying buying at the wrong time, for the wrong reasons, with the wrong financial foundation, that's what destroys families. If you've got steady income, a real emergency fund with at least 6 months of expenses, minimal debt, and you're planning to stay put for 7 to 10 years minimum, then yeah, buying can be one of the best moves you'll ever make. You're building equity. You're locking in a payment while rents keep skyrocketing. You're creating something that's actually yours. Over time, that house can become real wealth that changes your family's future. But if you're buying because you feel behind, because your friends are doing it, because you think good parents are supposed to own, stop right there. That's how people end up house poor, stressed out, and one emergency away from losing everything. You're making a $500,000 decision based on keeping up appearances. And let me tell you something, keeping up appearances doesn't pay the mortgage when your hours get cut. Here's the truth that might sting a little. Sometimes the absolute smartest thing you can do for your family is not buy. Sometimes the move that actually protects them is keeping your rent low, staying flexible, and stacking up savings that give you options when life goes sideways. Because real security isn't about what you own. It's about having choices when everything hits the fan. Think about it. If buying means you're stressed every month, juggling bills, unable to save for retirement or your kids' college, never taking a vacation, constantly worried about the next repair, is that really security? Or is that just trading one kind of anxiety for another? Now flip it. If buying actually lowers your monthly costs compared to rent in your area, if it doesn't wipe out your savings, if it gives you stability without strangling your budget, then absolutely pull that trigger. That's when homeownership becomes the foundation it's supposed to be. That's when it actually protects your family instead of putting them at risk. The difference between those two scenarios? Honesty. Being brutally honest about where you really are financially, not where you wish you were or where social media makes it look like you should be. So here's what it comes down to. Before you talk to another realtor, before you get pre-approved for more house than you can actually handle, ask yourself this one question. Am I buying this home because it genuinely makes my family's life better and more secure? Or am I buying it because I'm terrified of what people will think if I don't? Because that answer, that's everything. True security isn't about having your name on a deed. It's about making choices that protect your future, not just your ego. It's about having money in the bank, not just equity you can't touch. It's about knowing that when something goes wrong, and it will, you've got options, not just obligations stacked so high you can't breathe. Buying a home can be incredible, or it can be the financial disaster that takes years to recover from. The difference isn't the house. It's whether you're ready for everything that comes with it. So what's it going to be? Are you really ready, or are you just ready to feel like you've made it? Drop a comment and let me know where you're actually at with this decision. No judgment, just real talk. talk because sometimes saying it out loud is what makes everything click.